Hey, hi friends, welcome to today's video. So today we are going to discuss one of the important features that is introduced in iOS 16. So we all were facing some kind of challenges with navigation when using SwiftUI. Like in UI kit, we have a very awesome features of navigation using navigation controller, like where we have methods like push where we can go to any specific controller. We have pop where we can move back one step, and then we also had pop to root view controller where we can pop to root and pop to view controller if you want to go to any specific view controller. But these things were missing with the navigation view till now which we were using. But if you now see, the navigation view has been deprecated. Now the problem with the navigation view was that it was not giving you the options to like pop to root or pop to any specific control. It was good when you're moving from one screen to other screen or one view to other view and coming back. To bring such features, the Apple introduced a new API called NavigationStack in iOS 16. Now, if you see what is NavigationStack, it's a view that displays a root view and enables you to present additional view over the root view. So now if you can imagine, the root is something like how we used to have UI navigation controller, right? We used to have it as a root controller, and then from there we used to have our screens. So it is something similar to that. And we have to also read about one more component, that is navigation path. So it is a type, it is a list of data representing the content of a navigation stack. So whatever you will be feeding into your navigation stacks, generally if you remember in the navigation controller we used to have an array of view controllers, right? And then we can use to play with that array of view controllers if you want to go back to any specific screen or something like that. No, this navigation stack is something you can like think of that as an array of the view controller what we used to have. Not exactly, but something similar to that. And here, if you see in the navigation path, we have multiple methods. Let's say that append. If you want to go to any new screen, you can just append that. Remove last. It is just like your pop. So you can compare append as your push view controller and remove last as like pop view controller. So if you see remove last, it also takes the argument. Let's say that if you want to go back to any specific screen, so you can just tell that okay, remove the last two screens, so it will you will move to a definite screen. So now this count will give you the screen count, similar to what we used to have in navigation controller dot view controller dot count, something like that. Okay, so these are few methods. Init is like you can initialize it. Let's say that you want to remove all the element of your navigation path, something like pop to root view controller. You can just initialize your path again with init. So what it will do, it will just remove all the method. Okay, so let's go to the code and try to write piece of code to understand this functionality. Please watch this video till end, and if you have not subscribed our channel, please do subscribe our channel. So let me write few piece of code and then I'll explain what actually I'm trying to do. Okay, now let's try to understand this code. So what I've done, I have defined a class router. So basically this router will be taking care of all the navigation in my project that I'm going to build now. And this confirms to again observable object so that I can listen to this router changes in all of my screens. Okay, and then I have defined a variable of navigation path which we just now discussed method. So the first method is push view. So what it is doing, it is just appending the new item that I have to new item in the sense new screen that you are going to add. And if you see that I have defined a route basically that what screens I want to navigate. So I've just taken for example 4 views in my current projects. You can have this based on whatever the screens you want. Again, this is enum, so you can even have associated enum if you want to. Let's say that you want to pass some view model or you want to pass some data, that also you can do here. Okay, so now, or if you want, I can just make one as enum so that it will make more sense to you. So let's say that view 3, I want to pass some specific data. In that case, it can be anything. I'm just taking it as a string. Now pop to root view, that means I have to delete everything. So I'd see I'm just initializing it again, and pop to a specific view. So I'll be passing that how many view I want to remove, and that many view I will be removing from my navigation path. Now, okay, so now let me firstly create this 4 view for you. Okay, so if you see, I have defined 4 views, and they are very simple. I'm not running the preview. So if you see the first content view, it's very simple. I have taken environment object variable, basically a router. Now from where this environment object value will come, that I'll discuss after discussing this view. And inside this, I have just a simple button, and on the click of button, if you see what I'm doing, initially if you see, now we used to have navigation link and binding all those things. Now there's nothing as such. I'm just using my router, and I'm just pushing the new item, just like how we used to create a view controller object and push to our navigation controller. Just the same approach. The same thing is happening here also. Push view, now this time view 2 and view 3. See, this time view 3 I took as a associated enum, so I'm just taking as a string, so just passing my name in that. If you want to pass view model or something like that, you can do even that. And in the view 3, I have taken two button. Actually, the first button is going to root view, and the second button is going to a specific view. In this case, I'm just want to go to view 1, because we are starting from content view, then view 1, then 2, then 3. So from 3 I'm coming to view 1, and see, I'm just passing that how many views I want to remove. So I'm in view 3, so I want to remove view 3 and view 2, and then going back to my view 1. Okay, so hope this is clear to you. Now let me go and write the destination uh, part of this navigation stack that we are using. So here, let me create a new file and call it as app container view. So this will again a struct which conforms to view. Okay, now here I have to use this navigation stack, that what we have discussed. Okay, so if you see how we use this navigation stack, it's just simple to any other Swift UI component. You take it, define the opening closing braces, and if you see that, then on the content we define our navigation destination. Okay, that where actually you want to navigate. So here, let's first the navigation stack. Okay, so if you see here that navigation stack takes path and the route, so let's just pass it. So path will be basically my router that I have created, so this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an object of this here, Okay, and I'll just bind this variable here. So router dot, and what is my path? I created this as a navigation path, right? This was my variable name, if I'm right. Yes. So let's just copy and paste it here. Okay, I write something wrong here. It will not be observable object, it will be observed object. Okay, now root we can pass inside it. So root, so what will be my root? Root will be my content view. So let's pass the content view. And then on this, we are going to define our destination. So navigation destination. Okay. Now, this is like a Haswell protocol that what all possible destinations I have. So I've already defined destination, if you remember, that is my route, and that's the reason that I confirm this enum with Haswell protocol. Okay. So let me define this routes dot self, and then this will return you a route variable. So now we have to define that whenever we pass the route, then which screen we want to navigate. Because if you see the code that I have written, I'm just passing the route that okay, I want to go to view 1, view 2. But what is this view 1, view 2? These are basically just an enum variable. But I'm till now I have not linked my screens that I have created with this route, and that I'm going to do here. So let me just write a switch case, switch route, and then all the cases you need to define. So the first case is content view, and in this case where you want to go, to content view. Okay, so now I have defined all my cases, and then if you remember, in all our view we were accessing this environment object. Until now we have not set it, and that I'm going to do right now. So that will be setting on which, so where we are taking it, we are taking it on the navigation stack, right? So where is this ending? So after this we have to just write a simple line of code, that dot environment object, and let's set it as our router. Okay, so now my container view with all this the destinations are ready. So now I have to use this container view where in my this initial class. So right now it's going to content view, but now instead of going to content view I have to go to app container view. Now that's all the code that we need to use this navigation stack. Okay, now let's run this code and see how it behaves. So if you see the first screen, which is content view, and I'll just keep this and this side by side so we can even compare. So content view was having one button, go to view 1. It have title as content view, nothing else. Fine, go to view 1 and see. Now we are in view 2 without using navigation link or navigation view, and this all magic is happening with navigation stack. Okay, now here in the view 2 also, in view 1 I'm going to view 2. So if you see in the view 1 I'm pushing it to view 2. So you will go to now view 2. So see, now the title is view 2, and from here in the view 2 we are going to view 3. So now I went to view 3. Now I'm passing this nillis, but I'm not using it, so I can write a text also here and just bind this name. Okay, so I'm not running it again, but if the next time when I run, I'll be getting this nillis as well. Now see, here we have two buttons, one is go to root view and one is go to view 1. So if I press go to root view, see, now I'm in the content view, and that's what my root view is, right? Now let's go to view 3 again. And now this time I'm pressing to go to view 1, and see this time it's having view 1, not the content view. And see, from here I can go back to my root view. So there is one thing which is still missing in Apple's API, that is the animation which we used to get when we used to perform pop view controller using UI kit, if you remember. So when we are doing push, the animation is there. When we are going back, then one screen from this back, then also the animation is there. But when I'm coming with this navigation stack approach after removing the item, it's not working. So for that we can write some piece of code actually to make this animation work, and we can use the help of our UI kit. So what I'm going to do, let me import UI kit here, and let me write few piece of code, and then I'll explain this code. Okay, so if you see what I'm doing here, that I'm just using this CA transition, and this CA transition, if you remember, we used to use it for various kind of animation. Now there are multiple animation, if you see here, which are there, like is in, is out, is in, linear. So this is basically happens when actually when you do pop, the animation is in, is out. So let's run this application once more and see how it behaves. And this time my name will also appear. So you can see the Nilesh comes, and this is coming from previous screen. Now if you do go to view 1, you can see the animation. Okay, so you can control this animation, timing, also everything from this function. Okay, so that's all about the navigation stack, navigation view, the destinations that is actually introduced. Now there is also one part which I'm going to discuss in my next video, and that is the split. If you see here, we have two options in the place of navigation view, is the navigation stack and also the navigation split view. So this I'm going to discuss in my next video. Okay, but one more thing, what if I don't want to use this navigation path? Can I still do it? The answer is yes. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep everything same, just instead of this I'm going to take it as a array of route. Okay, and see that will there any change in my current state of the application. Now if I go to view 1, it works, view 2 it works, view 3 it works, even go to root view it works, and even go to view 1 it works. So everything is working as it is. Now why it is working? Because if you see this, what I have defined, this is an array, and array have method append, and that's what I was doing previous also. Now array also has initializers, no problem here. Array also have remove last, so no problem here. But in this case you get a extra advantage. Now what is that extra advantage? That now instead of passing, let's say that if I have another method called pop to view, now instead of asking that how many items you want to remove, let's say that no, you don't want to count in the runtime that how many view you have to remove. You just want to tell the compiler that okay, just go and remove this, bring this particular specific view. So instead of this I can just bring a route variable here, which is of my type route, which earlier it was not directly possible using this navigation path. But now I have this route. Now I have my array also, right? So I'm not going to write this code, I'm just telling that now I have my array and I have my route. So what actually my logic should be that if my array contains 4 items and my route index is 2, I have to just remove the 3 and 4 item from my array, right? So here you have to just do the filtration of your this route, this navigation path array, and then it will work as it is. So if you are taking your own custom, definitely you have added advantage in this just one case. So I'll still prefer using this navigation path instead of using the route. It depends on you what approach you want to choose for your application. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I love to hear the feedback, and if you have any doubt, please write in the comment section. And I also have started a Discord server, so if you want to join and chat personally, please join the channel. The link is in the description box. Thank you.